had a tragic event in our family. My nephew is 18 and he committed suicide. I didn't know what to do with my grief, and I belonged to a local running group and felt that maybe I could put a race on to raise funds for the awareness of suicide, not only for adults but especially for teenagers, because it just seems that it's been so prevalent in the last few years that there are more kids that are committing suicide for whatever reason, bullying, stress, peer pressure, things like that. And so being so grief-stricken, it helped me to get through the horrible pain that we all were suffering, my entire family. So it helped myself, my husband, my kids. It helped us to focus on trying to do something good from something that was so horrible. Well, Run for Life is a 4-mile run. That's why it's the number 4 on my shirt. And it is a beautiful route. And the reason we picked this route is because it has so much beauty around it. We have the lake and the beautiful trees, and it just reminds us and the people who are running of life is worth living. And so what we do is, it's a crazy day in the morning. We start at 5 in the morning, and our timing company comes, and we set up at the park, and racers start coming in about 6:30, 6:45. Race starts at 7 a.m. It's a lot of fun. There's just a lot involved getting it together. Police to block off streets and getting t-shirts made and medals and things like that. But the day of the races, we've always been very fortunate. We have it in May. May is Suicide Awareness Month. This year it will be May 17th, and this will be our 4th annual. So we've been doing this now. This will be year 4. We've been very blessed to be able to do it every year. We've grown each year. We've been able to raise a little bit more money. So we are hoping to raise over $10,000 this year. Last year we were just shy of that goal. So we would like to do that this year. Well, Dominic was a very talented young man. He played the electric guitar and acoustical guitar. He played the drums. He was very, very talented. And so that was his passion. Music was his passion. He had a great heart. He was, getting ready to graduate high school and go into college. And I just remember him as a little boy. He always just had this beautiful smile. And so he had become well known in his area. And they live outside of Philadelphia. And so he was recruited for a rock band, an adult rock band that he was in. And so he was going to be traveling with them that summer, just promoting his music. And I don't know if it was from the stress of that, possibly being with older people, because they were quite a few years older than him. So I think the stress from that and things from school, girl issues. Apparently he had an alcohol problem that none of us knew about. So that came about after the tragic event. And so it's important for me to have that substance abuse awareness thing as well, because had Dominic been in the right state of mind, he would have never taken his life. He wouldn't have done that to us or to his mother, father, brother. So that's the reason why we're doing this, is just to get the word out and to be aware and to not be ashamed that someone in your life or someone you knew decided to take their life, because it is an illness. I want people to realize that it's an illness. It's not something, they're not being, I know there are some people say that it is selfish to kill yourself or to commit suicide. Well, yes it is, but I just don't think these people are in the right frame of mind, or else they wouldn't do it. But Dominic was just a wonderful soul, and we miss him terribly. He just would have turned 22 this year. His birthday was on the 21st of November. March 17th was the day he took his life, so that will always be a date that I'm never going to forget. And then he was my godson, and we ended up burying him on my birthday. So we have that connection where I feel that he went to the Lord on the day I was born. Well, my message is this. You have to speak. I think had Dominic spoken to my sister, his father, the outcome would be much different. Kids don't want to talk to their parents. And being a parent of 3 myself, I want to know everything. And granted, it may not be something that I want to hear, but I need to know in order to be able to help you or help anyone. So if there's anybody that's out there that's struggling, even if you feel uncomfortable about talking about something that's really weighing you down with your parents, if there's an adult that's out there that you're close to, speak to them. But you need to speak, because you can't keep it all in, because I believe that it just gets all bottled up, and the outcome ends up being that they have no way out. And there is a way out. You know, you need to speak to people. Go on your faith. The Lord will help you. And so we need to be aware, and kids need to be able to talk to somebody to be able to get these problems figured out, because you can't figure it out on your own. And I think that's where the problem lies, is they don't think that anybody's going to understand them, especially their parents, so they won't speak to them. So my message is you need to speak. You need to speak to somebody so that we can prevent the outcome of suicide. Run for Life will be 4th annual this year. We're very, very proud of that. It is going to be on May 17th at 7:30 in the morning. There should be plenty of parking. The route is beautiful. We want you to come out and enjoy the day. Bring your friends. You can sign up at racetimesports.com, and registration's pretty easy. We look forward to seeing you hopefully on May 17th at 7:30. I miss, that's what I see.
Yeah.
You know, I see my mom, I see my dad, I see Dominic, my brother. There's just so many people that I've lost over the years, and I'm sad and happy at the same time, only because I know where they're at, and I know that they're watching over me. So that's what running does for me. It just helps to get those emotions out, and maybe I don't want to do it in front of my family, and it's just something that you can do alone, and it's almost like you're connecting with your loved ones while you're running. Yeah, for sure.
So since I was, I guess, 13 or so, or 8th grade, 7th grade, I don't even know, I started feeling a little bit off, a little bit different, and those feelings continued through high school, through college, and it was always associated for me with the music I was listening to, whether it was punk rock or emo music or anything like that. It was always, I was feeling not happy because I was listening to this music. And so I was going to an all-boys high school, and in this sort of kill or be killed mentality, the music I was listening to was associated with me, was associated with the feelings that I was feeling. And so it wasn't anything independent of that. And day after day after day of hearing, oh, you're listening to that sad music, that's why you're sad, eventually it takes hold, and that's when you start thinking you're not thinking, especially as a 13 or 14-year-old hormonal teenager, of maybe there's something actually the matter, maybe there's something actually wrong. And so it took 8-10 years or so through college to finally realize that it wasn't just music, it wasn't just the peer pressure of people telling me these were the things that I was thinking. It was actually something that needed to be handled and needed to be dealt with. And so that's the point where I finally started to, seek out the free counseling that my college was offering, go to a doctor to get medicine that would help towards beginning that process of getting away from the feelings that I had felt for a decade and had been normalized in my life. If you like the music that you like, but other people are telling you that it's, that's what's making you feel a certain way, don't listen to that. Your feelings are the ones that you come up with. No one can really dictate that for you. And outside of that, if you see someone, a friend or a family member or anyone like that, that may be going through this sort of stuff, step up and say, hey, let's get coffee, or let's go out for a drink or a dinner or something like that, to just talk and let them know that you're there, supporting them in a way that maybe people in work or at school or anywhere else may not be doing. So on a physical level, I mean, it releases those endorphins and other things that, as an English major and a writer, I don't necessarily understand, but I know they do good things. So running physically makes me feel better, and then there's a community aspect when I do get the chance to go on a run with other people in West Volusia runners, or if I can find a friend from work or from school to go on a run with just in the middle of the day, kind of out of the blue. There's a sense of community and of friendship there that you can talk, you can vent, you can do whatever, or you can just run silently next to each other and you know that someone else is there experiencing at least the same physical exhaustion and stress that you are, and that at the end of it, even though you're sweaty and hot and tired, you feel better about it.
Well, a lot of my friends are runners, and I saw that they were doing this Run for Life, and I never heard of it before. And then I went on the page on Facebook and looked up what it was, and I saw that it was a race for suicide. And so I actually sent a message to Alma, and I introduced myself, and I told her what had happened to me. And then we talked a little bit, and she just said, you know, I really want to meet you at the race and give you a big hug. And sorry.
No. Okay, we're good.
So after me and Alma had talked through Facebook, I went to the race and I met her, and it was definitely very emotional. And when I was running the race, the whole time I just thought of my dad, and it was one of the best races I've ever had in my entire life. So that's why I got involved in that. So I think whether or not you know somebody who has committed suicide, or even if you don't, I think that coming and running this race and just seeing all the people who have gone through it or experienced it is very, very inspirational in itself. Plus, not only that, but with everyone there that's been through it, or that knows somebody, or even just knows somebody who knows somebody, it makes you aware that everything you say to somebody can really, hit them really deep. So it's really important to make sure that you don't say anything hurtful or treat anybody hurtful, because you never know if they're having a bad day or what they're going through. So it just kind of brings everybody together and really makes us appreciate each other and know that we're all human beings and our lives are very fragile. So just to really take care of each other, and it brings us all together at that race. I would just say that no matter what you think at that moment, just know that somebody, no matter who it is, somebody loves you very, very much. And somebody will miss you very, very much.